quick question. What do we breathe? We all know it's air. And if you have any sense of the world, you also know that air mainly consists of nitrogen, and then comes in oxygen and some other gases. Nitrogen is 78%, oxygen is 21%, and carbon dioxide is 0.03. Now, you may be wondering, other gases like argon, which are 0.9% in the atmosphere, we don't usually mention those. So why do we mention that 0.03 carbon dioxide? Well, let me tell you. Carbon dioxide has this property that it can trap heat inside. So that is exactly why when we cut down trees, oxygen reproduction gets cut off as well. So the less oxygen there is, the more carbon dioxide there is. So in the morning when solar energy comes in, at night it tries to leave, but the increasing amount of carbon dioxide stops that, and that is exactly what we call global warming. That is why we always mention the 0.03% of carbon dioxide. Now air is a really cool substance because you can't see it. Well, sometimes you can feel it, but that's a whole nother topic, and I made a video on that luckily just for you, so you can go watch this after that one. I'll link it down below. But even though you can't see it, it still takes up most of space. For example, you can take an empty cup. Okay, for example, you take up an empty cup. Okay, now you'll close it. You see that nothing's inside. Wrong. Air is inside. Air has mass. It doesn't have volume, it doesn't have a shape, it just has mass. Anything that covers space has mass, and air is just one of those substances that has the most amount of mass. Yes, it's flexible. I mean, it's gaseous, of course it's flexible, and it shifts, but also it's really cool because you know, when you were little and you used to take your nahane wala mug and you used to go like this and bubbles used to come to the top. Yes, that is exactly what is called as air pressure. The mug that you're putting down like this, it has air inside of it, and that is why when you're pushing it down, the air pressure is not letting the water inside the bucket get in it, and that's why bubbles are coming up. And that is exactly why when you let it leave, like when you let go of the mug, it shoots right back up to the top. That is because air has very low density and a lot lower than water. But if the mug was full of water and you put it down like this, then it would come back up a lot slower in comparison to when it has air inside of it. That's exactly why it shooted up so fast. So now you can tell your childhood self why that's happening. No, it's not magic. And that is what we call air pressure. That's just one of the basic examples, and if you want I can make a whole separate video on that because air is actually so cool. Because we learn about air since the day we are born, but it's really advanced. Like, it is one of those topics that you can take in the first grade and you can literally do a PhD on it. Well, not really, but like there's so much to learn about air, and we're still learning so much about air, and it's just really cool. So air, we also call it as atmosphere. Atmosphere is the layers blanket of air around our earth. We have some layers, stratosphere, troposphere, and all of that. So if you want me to make a video on the layers of the atmosphere, let me know and I'll do that, because that is also a really fun topic. So if you enjoyed learning about air pressure with me, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I make videos like this daily, and who knows, maybe I will see you in my next one.